know that people can hear me. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mukwena. I am your host. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, then Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. Right now on the line, I've got my members on the line. As you know, Fridays are members only days where we discuss. I can't comment. I can't next on Fridays unless you're a member. But you are gonna be able to listen to a nice conversation. Happy this weekend. It's a big weekend. It's a big weekend. I'm gonna start us off with Sundowns. Sundowns, the Wydad game. AFL final on Sunday. How do we feel about this game, guys? Can you guys hear me? Anyone can jump in, guys. It's free. It's free. Jump in.
Oh.
Show.
All right. I think that the fact that Sundowns is at home, and they've done that whole tactic of making the game free, is gonna really be in their favor again. Yeah, so especially if they've got Shasha back. If he's back, they need a striker. That's all they need, because Wydad at home and Wydad away, it's not the same team. So for me, I feel like they're gonna be a lot more stronger this time around. So and they may even just nick this one. Yeah, so get ready for noise pollution. That's my prediction.
Will they be able to cover noise pollution at Derby? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Phela by 57. Labo bantu khuluma ngayo mtho.
Yes, you know what? Actually, the Derby is sold out without having to make the game free. So obviously.
So Chiefs wins one game and start insulting us.
That's why they had to shift the game to Sunday.
One game in and start insulting us. Just one game. But it's a group win.
You guys don't understand. Mr. Oti, we gave them an opportunity to move the game to 7 o'clock. Baba Nenkan. Baba by 57, the background.
Mara, tell me, Agent, as the resident Sundowns fan here, how do you feel about your team's chances?
On Sunday?
On Sunday.
No, I'm super confident. No. It's coming home. No, super confident.
Mara, is that all you have to say about your team, Pella? There's people who are raring to go for another game.
No. The thing is, you know me. When I go to a game and I'm not confident, I tell you that, this one I don't feel it. But this one, I think, with the way Al Ali played, I see that team coming with that same mentality. I don't think they're gonna press us. I don't think they're going to come. If they do come with the same mentality that they played with in Morocco, then it might be scary. But even with that, we still win it, eh? So,
Mara, you have to score 2 goals at least. Or 1 goal at least.
Yeah.
Will you get that goal?
Come on, we're talking about Sundowns. This is not a Banzi or Rice fan or Rice FC, man. This is Sundowns.
Yeah, but I think if Wydad came in and they play the way they did that side, Sundowns is in trouble. But the other thing that they need to do, Sundowns need to be cautious when it comes to attacking, because if they commit too many numbers up front, I see trouble. To be honest, I see trouble. I think there's a one striker that I saw who was like out and out striker who was standing there waiting for balls, like long balls and all that. So if they try whatever they were trying at Morocco and all that, Sundowns will be in trouble. That's my take on this one. But they must not push more numbers up front, to be honest. They need to be cautious also when they are attacking.
What I think about that.
It's a free fall.
Yeah. Yes, to be honest with you, Sundowns guys, they've played their heart out, especially against the game Al Ali. They've proven that they can really dominate. But Yabona game Miraja, I think they were tested. If you watch that game, for them to receive their first loss, it gets to show good. They are playing against a good team. As much as we can claim and say no, Sundowns at home, they are dominant and all of that. But Pella, this is gonna be a tactical game. More than anything, because they know if they can keep Sundowns at bay from scoring, or if they score a goal, then Sundowns has to score 2 goals. So I think Sundowns is the one that is under pressure. But knowing Rulani, but another thing, I gonna strikers. So hey, hopefully maybe one
Oh,
will
no.
heal.
Shasha will be back. Shasha will be back.
Yeah,
is he
but
back?
Yeah, I heard him saying Ribeiro and Shalulile. They could have traveled with the squad, but they decided not to risk it. So yeah, they should be ready. At least one of them.
but
I
they can.
think it's Sundowns. I think it's Sundowns just need to score early. If they score early, they remove the pressure from that game. Because if it goes not to a second half, then it's Wydad's game to lose. So they have to get an early goal to just ease the nerves. Because Wydad will be under pressure. The fans will be on top of them if it's 1-0 early. So that's what Sundowns needs to strive for them to have a very good game and win the final. I that if the game drags on for long, Wydad will end up being confident and they might even beat Sundowns in that case. The ball goes not to halftime. Then that's where it's gonna be messed up because what I've noticed about Rulan, whenever he's under pressure, he panics a bit. Change 3 times. Even the game against Chiefs, I'm telling you, he did that. Then unfortunately things collapsed, and then they were lucky to get away with the result in that game. So so for Sundowns to get things to get a goal very early, it will help them out. So for me, that's what I feel will help Sundowns out in this game if they can get an early goal.
And I think to jump on that, I think no one can argue that Rulani, when it comes to substitutions, is number one in the whole PSL.
Hey, but when he's under pressure.
Something else. Yeah, but look at the game that we were 2-0 down at Stellenbosch. What did he do? He threw in the kitchen sink. He knows how to throw in the kitchen sink. That's one thing I have thought about him, Yeah.
Mr. Oti.
Yeah, Kuto.
Assalamu alaikum.
Baring, assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam.
Exactly. I'm here representing Les Roach. Why that Casablanca? I've bought the king Kefi ready.
Already.
I'll be at the corner flag waiting for them to come and bow, and I will go down.
Habibi.
I am willing to pay entrance fee. I will pay, but I'll be dressed in a white and red.
Premium hating there. Premium hating.
Premium, top shelf, high quality hating. I will be there. Let's hold.
It's not a bad idea. I'm also thinking of joining in Icon.
There was the 1 year when Pirates had the red kit. Caleb, I'm told you're a Man United supporter. Shall no red guys, Simon.
Well, understand. We'll be in tune.
Exactly.
I'm under no delusion, and I will not mislead people. I'll never forget the CAF Champions League final. Pirates was when we were watching Eli Philip Orlando. Orlando was packed in black with presidents and everything, all dignitaries, students in res. Pirates. It was said everyone is supporting Orlando Pirates. When Abu Trika hit the top corner to make it 1-0, I have never seen so many Egyptians in one room. So many black Egyptians. I had one. Are we not supporting Orlando Pirates?
Never accept support from the enemy.
No,
Yeah,
but you know, Kibo Maiki, man. You know Kibo Maiki. It's not us, eh? When we are innocent.
We
are going there. We are going there. We'll be wearing red. That's what you need to know. Even me, if Chiefs is playing against whoever, I'm against. I'm a hooligan in the way of that. I don't care. It's Sundowns. I'll be there. I'll be beating the drum for the Moroccans. That's what I can tell you now.
Mara autsibili pheti na drum re shaiwa jwang rodli ya ko Morocco.
I'll tune it. I'll tune the drum the way they want it. But Ovi, there's one thing that you said about the striker. They do have a striker. This thing of South African teams, they're killing players. Give Mutupa is a striker, guys. So I beg to differ when they said they didn't have a striker. You know, no. Okay, what is he doing at Sundowns?
No, listen. Let me listen to you. Let me listen to you. Speak out. I'll speak up.
Release him then,
The thing is, guys, Pirates. Why is Pirates not using Evanga? You know, or that guy from Cameroon. What is his name? I don't even know his name. Yeah, you know, because guys, it's not just a matter of playing. Eh? As Mata is home, there has to be chemistry. There has to be a pattern of play that a players get used to. You know, so it's the same thing which you guys argued against Stellenbosch. When is it Stellenbosch, that team that it tears, where you guys said we should field in 11 players because we have 11 players. It's not about that. It's all about chemistry and understanding. You know, it's beyond putting in and replacing. You know, so yeah.
I beg to differ when it comes to that, because when you talk of Evanga, you're talking of we having somebody who's playing Mokopa, right? He's playing, right? And he's not injured. We you know what? So in this case, Sundowns. He was injured, right? Why can't they use somebody else? That is my question, because we're talking of somebody who was injured versus somebody who's fit to play.
And no, it's a case of
my concern into this.
Theo?
Yeah.
No, the thing is, the question is, because Mutupa asked to move from Sundowns, guys. We need to also take these things into consideration. I was listening to Mngomeni now. He was saying Sundowns, when they win a game, they will give you 110. Yeah, he said he made 120,000 in bonuses after winning just 4 or 5 games. So whether you're playing or not playing, Sundowns, you still get some sort of remuneration. So as much as we can be hard on Sundowns and saying why Machupa is not playing, what if United doesn't want to move from Sundowns? And what if Sundowns have made it clear, you do not fit in the system? We are trying to find you a team, but actually, no, I don't want to go. So you can't really force
It's 75 million imnandi Theo. Ungahamba wena uye Chess Galaxy angeke bakunikeze imali. At Sundowns, you sit on the bench ko Morocco, you get you become a millionaire at the end of the year, man, wina ma-AFL. Imnandi mali, man.
I think OT goes back to what we discussed, that sometimes we view these players from a fan's point of view. We don't view them from that own view that, guys, I need to provide for my family, you know? So why should I go and play for game time with TX, you know, if I'm going to be getting 10 because I'm from 8, you know? It's all about money, guys. At the end of the day, it's about money. Yes, they're paid to entertain us, but just find us on. They must get money.
Yeah, no, I don't think I agree with that, agent, because first of all, these players, you remember football is a very funny career, because you get given 3-year, 4-year contracts, and if you're not playing for 2 years, definitely you will be out of the Sundowns. So for me, the fact that you have an ambition and you're a soccer player, so it tells me that you want to rather stay with Sundowns if you are part of the squad where you get some minutes. But in the case of Ukif Matupa, there's no he will be out at the end of the season, where they will say, you know what, he needs to now go anyways to Chess Galaxy. Then it begs the question, why didn't he try and move earlier on so that he can kickstart his career? What if there's a super sport or your Stellenbosch who is willing to pay a few thousands less, but he's gonna also get more game time? And what if he also pops and then ends up to AFCON squad, which again is another opportunity that he is missing because of staying out. Yeah, no, I'm
Buddy.
just putting the other
But,
side of
but
it.
there's a player in England called Harry Maguire. He
Ow.
refused to go West Ham. He
Ow.
refused.
Hey,
It's like,
don't
pay
touch my
me.
don't touch my team, man.
That's my team.
No. No, but what I'm saying, my point is the point I already there's no striker. That one I beg to differ. That is my problem. I'm not
Yeah.
disputing about money and all that. To say they didn't have a striker, that one I completely disagree. You understand me? So which means it doesn't fit the system that Rulan is playing, right? The only thing that I know is that there's an article. I'll post it. I'll check for it. If Mutupa wanted to leave 3 months back or so, right? But they say no, relax, what. But now somebody's injured, but it's not been played. That is my problem.
I just want to jump in. I want to take it back. I want to take it back to the match. Okay, we're speaking about give Mutupa and different strikers, right? But even if Sundowns gets a goal, Wydad has shown that they're capable of scoring in Pretoria. They're capable of scoring with Sundowns. They scored the 2 goals, gave them their first loss in the tournament. Do you think that Sundowns can hold the Wydad back for like 90 minutes and then also capitalize? Isn't this too many jobs, man?
I mean, I just want to add one thing. As long as Umvala corner, there's a chance for you with that.
Leave Mbala, guys.
Hey, Umvala will be Monday.
Remember the Champions League game?
And the match box
he
is
scored an
not
own goal.
The match box is not going to leave Shamile's socks today, and Umvala will be damaged. And the snake
so
will
you're
be well
claiming
fed.
the match box today.
Oh, sebamu ukuthi khona.
What
The
I
snake
know,
will be well fed today. Eh?
Hey,
Yeah.
Ronnie, can you
When you
guys
guys are
fight the
driving to-
Sundown snake?
When you guys are driving to the dive, be careful of accidents. Eh? We are looking for some time.
No, but Wydad is a good team, guys, and they've improved offensively because the Wydad that faced Sundowns School Champions League is different to the Wydad that's facing Sundowns now with the African League. So back then they were more of a defensive, trying to catch you on the transition. Now they play. Now they play. So, which is why you are right when you think that it's possible that Sundowns can score first and still Wydad can still come back into that same game. So, Sundowns still needs to play very well for the entire game for them to actually win this tie. Yeah, one.
That's me.
But
My
let's
take
say,
on it is that the worry for Sundowns would be that if that can actually park the bus properly.
proper, yeah.
Of late, we can see with Sundowns is limitable. If I mean, can actually park the bus and be successful against Sundowns. For example, against Al Ahly, they only scored 1 goal, which would give Wydad confidence to say, actually, we can go there and defend and actually limit my chances well. Other thing that would be a factor that Wydad can turn it on in the last 15 minutes at will, even not attacking by chance, but at will. They can suddenly at the 75th minute decide, okay, it's not. Let's make it 1.
Yeah.
And then it will be a problem because if they make it 1-0 in the 75th minute, Sundowns will probably have.
Is it my phone or Abutukuta is speaking slowly? Soft, I mean.
Oh, softly.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking
Yeah,
of.
I'm probably speaking soft because at some point I couldn't even get my voice in. I was like, watch it down. But is it loud enough now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that Flop Kore, Wydad can score in the 75th minute if Sundowns is not offensive enough or aggressive throughout the game. They can score in the 75th minute, and Sundowns will then need to score 2 goals to at least take extra time, if not penalties. So the trick behind it now is that yes, you've got an away goal, but also you have to play. Even though you want to make it 1-0, you have to the caution of thinking with what if they score while I try and attack? I can't open too much. You understand? However, I'll also give you credit to Sundowns in the fact that they have Umvala. I know he's seen as a weakness, but Umvala and Mutau sometimes stay behind to babysit games along with Betwil. Therefore, with those two guys, it's very difficult to outpace Sundowns at the back. You understand? So with that in mind, and honestly speaking, Umutau is one of the best defenders, right, and the best fullbacks, but he does not necessarily contribute much. He's not an integral part of his Sundowns going forward. You understand? So they can actually afford to say, Umutau, just guard us for the day. We've got enough artillery up front to try and get us this all important one goal. So in that case, it can be a good reaction for his Sundowns to have Itriga, Umvala, Umvala, Umutau, as well as Ukekan. I think with those guys, they've got enough pace to counter against the, if I'm making sense.
Wait, guys, can I just jump in? For those who are watching the show and listening in, this is coming from our WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, Fridays are for members. Everything works through our WhatsApp group. You see the conversations we're having. 20 Rand a month. Go over to YouTube, join a membership. You'll get access. This is just a glimpse of the conversations that we have inside there. Abanye bazothoka izinto ze-Wydad to go watch Mamelodi Sundowns play. Asazi. Guys, are we overstating what Sundowns can do? Because it's 2-1. And, hey, guys, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I think we are slightly anything overconfident for Sundowns, but which is a bad thing. We forget Wydad is also a big team, and they are used to playing these big games. So that's the other thing that we have completely ignored. We think it's just gonna be smooth sailing. Hey, Baba, I like the comment from the last speaker where he says Wydad can actually back the pass properly, and for a big game, that's a possibility because they know what's on the line. I mean, if they defend very well for the whole 90 minutes, they've won the cup. So I think there's that other element too. So can Sundowns break down a team that is gonna be so resolute about defending their lead? Yeah, well, that's the other thing that we have to find out. So for me, also, even if Ushalulide is back, what if he's not in sync, is out of pace because the whole squad haven't been playing with the other gens for some time because of the injury. So now to just come in a big game like this and you are expected to just gel could take some time. Yeah, so he might not be even in the game. Yeah, so we also assume that because Shalulile is gonna be back immediately, it's gonna be goals. Hey, that's not how football works, unfortunately. So so yeah.
And also, I'm sorry, just this 30 seconds. Oshalile and Ribeiro, in as much as they might be coming back, there might be two wasted substitutions, if you think about it. If they're not fully fit, they might come in for this highly intense game where players are taking a bite at each other and be forced to leave the pitch within 15 minutes. So if they're not properly ready, I wouldn't advise for both of them to go in. Yes, we've seen which their absence has caused a problem in terms of the goal scoring reference. With Abu Nku, not necessarily bad, but really not taking the chance presented to them. You understand? There are moments where we saw with Esa, if this was Shalulile, whether you said it or not, but when you watch the game, you were like, if this was Shalulile in that position, Sundowns would have had 1 or 2. They could have been back on the bench at 3-2 or 2-2. Understand? So I would risk Shalulile or Ribeiro, but not both of them at the same time. It's too much of a risk. You might end up with 2 substitutions less, and next thing you know, we've got Abu Zungu, Nabo Mendieta losing their minds and causing a foul. Because like one thing I can guarantee you is that tomorrow, Sunday's game will not be smooth sailing. People will be on the floor. People will be asking the ref a lot of questions when play is supposed to start. People will be arguing and provoking each other. They will be in each other's spaces. It will be more of a mind game. Well, I think it will be more of a mind game than an actual football game.
I think
No, ngakhuluma Mr. 007.
Yeah, no, I was saying, I think public enemy number one is
007.
yeah. Am I speaking? Am I
Yeah,
audible?
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying public enemy number one is quite spot on a few things. Which I think about the back three, we need to be defensively solid. You know, it's not always about attack. You know, as former coach used to say. You know, so I think the back three that he chose, Okekana, Umbala, and Umotau, those are hard rocks. You know, drop the ball and take the man kind of people. You know, so with them, they'll be solid. And like he's saying, Mudau's not offering us that much offensively. You know, AB can do that for us, you know, so I think it's put on that. And also, like you were saying, you won't want to risk both of them at the same time, Ribeiro and Shalulili. Rather have them play 45, you know, that's better. So, yeah, but I think my concern is after the first 10 minutes, right? Because I think the first 10 minutes is going to be intense. I have this feeling that Wydad is not going to be the Wydad that you guys I think is gonna come. You know, it's gonna play the low block. You know, I have that feeling. Yeah.
Mhlave, you heard us speaking about the Sundowns
for
from
me to jump
somewhere.
in, guys,
Go ahead,
after
Theo.
listening to
Hey guys, there's something on Theo. You can carry on, Theo.
Yeah, man.
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, hey, Marukutsu. Yeah, nesiyazi Sundowns yini. Ake niseke nathi comment. Hey. As far as I'm concerned, after listening to Urulani on what he said about that game, after the game, he said, we have buried the Simba, we have buried Al Ali. Now we are left with our arch enemy, which is Wydad, which is a voodoo team for them. And I think for the first time, if you watch their game against Raja is not afraid of them, guys. Most of the teams that they played with, Simba, first game, yeah?
Wydad.
Wydad. Inkinga nalama team now, man, wathula ngathi team eyi-1, yeah. Wydad. So what they did is like, Simba packed the bus, Al Ali packed the bus second time and first time. But they're a different breed, guys. You know, they go with them. You know, so I think coming this second leg, it's gonna be an advantage to Wydad than the advantage to Sundowns. I will tell you this: no matter Chabo Ribeiro, Nabusharule, they are back, guys. It's not gonna make any difference. Sundowns was not struggling with scoring; they were struggling with playing their natural game, which is finding pockets. Actually, the only player that was outstanding in that game, Mudau. So if Wydad can apply the same system, but now wait for Sundowns to make mistakes, then they capitalize on them, which is if they can leave maybe one guy who's quick up front, try to catch Sundowns on transition, then that will be a back foot for Sundowns, especially Mudau. But when you look at the game, Sundowns, as much as they can be effective in rotating the ball, but if they do not find those pockets, they struggle. That's why you'll find them bringing in crosses, of which Costa feet. That does not really guarantee them that they will score or they will create as many chances as they usually do because they are under pressure. If Wydad scores a goal, as they usually can, and as they usually put Sundowns on the back foot, especially on finals. Pella, don't forget, with Sundowns, they've hardly won a final in the past 4, 5, 6 seasons. So if they can't conquer their fears when it comes to final games, then I don't think they will stand a chance, regardless of who they start.
That's actually a very good point. I never thought of it that way, Guti. When you get to the semis and the finals, Sundowns have struggled. Okay, they won it obviously 2016, but they've struggled during this time. Mhlave, defend the team, man. I know you are here for it.
Sure, OT. Greetings, everyone. Look, it's written in the stars, guys. It's written in the stars. This is a big game for the boys. They've done the hard work. Now is to go there and complete everything. Yes, my take. Shalulile coming back. Yes, he might not score, but then Shalulile coming back, he give us more in attack. You know, Shalulile help us in a high press. So when Shalulile is there, it's difficult for an opponent to play from the back. You know? And also when Ushalulile is back, then it gives Umshishi the free role. It gives Umshishi the freedom to play his game. So then when Umshishi is there, when Shalulile is there, then Umshishi can do his creativeness freely. He can create the scoring opportunity. So bringing Shalulile back, yes, he might not score, but then it takes off pressure from Umshishi. It's where you can see Umshishi enjoying his game. But yeah, it will be interesting to see. But then I also say maybe not play Ribeiro and Shalulile same time. Maybe one must come from the bench. But yeah, definitely one must start. And then if Shalulile is there, must definitely start because we need that early goal. We need a goal before halftime. 10 minutes when the game starts. But then if we can't find 10 minutes, definitely first half, we must get a goal because coming back from second half, if we don't find that goal, we that might grow in confidence, and we don't want with that it's highly confident. The loose guy with that they played Champions League final back to back, so they are no pushovers. They've got experience. These guys, they know how to play this game. So with that, it's a very very big team. And then right now, the coach, they have got a very 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 good coach, of which I think maybe Chiefs must look at that coach. If they can get that coach, I think they can bring back the glory there. It's a very very high technical coach. No, I'm just saying
Kevin Chonsilotti.
Because if we knock out Wydad now and then Wydad also lose in the Champions League, those guys, they don't play. They fire coach like nothing. As good as he is, if we lose a Super League and then he go lose a Champions League, he might as well leave. So yeah, it would be very very interesting to see. And when Rulani now, at least he knows what to expect from Wydad. Hopefully he went and studied that game, watched the game, tried to rectify everything that went wrong in the first league. So yeah, it will be interesting to see. But then I'm looking forward to see Shalulile coming back to play. He might score, might score, but then him being there, because I was at some spaces in X, the Wydad fans, all of them. The question that they were asking, it was about Shalulile. If Shalulile is fit, if Shalulile is ready to play. So even the Wydad friends, they're very worried about Shalulile. So for Shalulile to be there in the field, for them is the defenders will never relax if Shalulile is there. So I wish Shalulile can play for me.
I wanna touch on something that you spoke about now about the coaches. If Rulani loses this final, and then maybe they don't win CAF, and they win the league, how is Rulani standing? There by Sundowns, maybe the Sundowns fans can tell us internally, and maybe the rest of us outside of Sundowns, how do we view Rulani if that was to happen?
OV.
Yeah.
Okay,
go first. Go first, my soldier.
Okay. Before I answer that, right? Let me go back to the game, right? I'll answer that after that, OV. You know the difference. I see Shalulile, man. I see the side there, Shalulile. The only difference between that game and Sundowns, it was Mvala. I know. Even me, I have questions about him, but he's one player that can protect the back. If you can check the two goals that came, if Mvala was there, I think one was not going to. You know what? The second, especially the second one. So that is the difference. If Mvala is there, I think they're more protected at the back. That will be the difference, between the last final and this final. That is my concern now. But with Shalulile, I think they're risking him. That guy is injured in the knee, and when they're playing against Pirates, he was forced to play. Then he came back more. It was worse, right? Then him again. So I think they are risking the player when it comes to that. But when it comes to your question about Rulani, I still say people think he's the best. Yes, he's the best when it comes to as a young, young coach. He's the best, But hey, guys, that guy one day people will see. Uzoyikupela le Sundowns le. Ngiyantshela. I'm telling you. Uzoyikupela le Sundowns. He's a young coach. You know what? He has good things and all
Double
that.
agents.
But one
Double
day,
agents.
uzoyikupela le Sundowns le. Nizomxosha. Ngiyantshela especially the supporters nizomxosha. But it's ngiyivale. Vale mfana.
Valamva.
Vale mfana.
I think for me, he still has one season left in me worth of credit.
Okay.
And it's this season. So obviously winning a league at Sundowns is like bread and butter. It's a given. So if he wins it, sure, I would give him one last season. The problem is we are an impatient nation, very impatient nation. And sometimes I look at I know this would be a bad comparison, but Arsenal,
Yeah.
Arsenal was always in the top four, always winning a cup,
Don't get me started, agent. Please don't get me started. Hey.
And to the fans, they got used to the top four in winning cups, that they underrated what Wenger was doing. I'm just saying hypothetically, just saying it that way. I know he did a lot of wrongs and stuff, but you guys underrated that about him. So I think with us, we are underrating winning the league. Winning the league is difficult, guys. It's very difficult. But because of Sundowns, looks like it's easy. But with me, even if he loses all the other cups and still maintains the league, I would give him one last chance. I know people are gonna say, but we fired Umangova for losing one cup. True, but what I'm gonna say, replace and change. What is going to be the direction of the team?
Demoted, not fired. Demoted.
Yeah, demoted, everything. The difference between chalk and cheese. But yeah.
Not just demote to art. Don't forget him, Timothy, to art, quote unquote.
So yeah, I think that's my thing. That we can't be a Chiefs who are going to change coaches like that, changing whatever. We have to have a process, trust it, and stick to it. So whether it works out or it doesn't work out at the end of a 3 or 4 year span, that's when you can say, oh, was a bad decision, Then we can do that, but not.
But then, agent, what's workout? Like as Sundowns fans, what does workout mean to you guys? So I know, Tina, maybe it's a trophy. Oh, okay, Champions League is the bar.
It's Champions League. It's straight. I think it's long overdue. Like, I think I once said this about the Sundowns squad, that they are flirting with greatness. They're either going to be remembered as the great 2016 team, or they're going to be another Sundowns. Where everyone's like, okay, sure, but we need to win. Like, the standard now at Sundowns, even if Orlando goes in this new coach, the standard is the star. We need the star. I know we want our stars arrested. We don't wait another 50 years like other teams.
Can
I chip in, Mr. OT, because it's getting personal, man.
Now can I have my chance after this?
You know what I would say about Rulani. For me, I feel like if he doesn't win any of the continental cups, then he has failed, because he has done what all the other previous coaches of Sundowns have done. They've won the league, they've won maybe some cup in the. So what's new with Sundowns there? You see, if it was good Chiefs where he's just winning a league, that's something else. But this is Sundowns. Sundowns, I mean, guaranteed for the past, I don't know how many years, they've got a league or a cup or something, So domestically, it's sorted. That's not what they want. If you truly, because they know in that space, I mean, they've captured the whole league. It's difficult to dethrone Sundowns domestically. Even the Pirates, we were looking at the Pirates. Look at them now; they are not really where they need to be if they were going to be disturbing Sundowns. So we can't judge
Urulani just on what Sundowns is used to getting. You must judge him based on what they want. I mean, the Wydad that we're talking about, look at their track record in Africa. They've won it, I don't know, Champions League maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years. Look at the Al Ahly, they've won it. Sundowns needs to be in that bracket. Yeah, so unfortunately, they are not there yet. So that's how Urulani should be judged. Uday Baba, we need to go this place like Wydad ne Al Ahly corner. You know, so you can't give us what we already know. So for me, externally, from where I'm sitting, I think that's how management of Sundowns should be judging performance of Urulani more than anything.
Yeah.
Mr. Uchimina.
I think let's go Kutso, then I'll go to you, Theo.
All right. For me, Mr. Otina, there are different outlooks on life, and I think some of them they tend to cloud our judgment of what's good and what's wrong. Some will say they failed to win Guma finals, and some will say they are so good they're permanent fixture now. Guma round robin and as well as knockout stages. You understand? And if you look at it in a South African context, when has that ever happened? When has that ever been normal that we are always, whether national team, whether Kanaking club level, we are always in the knockout stages of African football. It's not normal. It's new. And the fact that we see it as normal is testament to the fact that as an institution, they've done so well. You understand? That's the first. The second outlook would be then, you're always in the knockout stages. You have to win. That's kind of king. The hotness that comes with the cup of coffee that you have to deal with. You understand? If that even makes sense. Then you look at it and think, actually, from last season, if we're clustering all of these African tournaments and AFL being part of the Champions League, last season you only made it to the semifinals, or was it quarterfinals? And this season you're in the final. That on its own is progress. So we cannot aim and try and equate it with progress last season and say it's the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. You've moved beyond what was seen as a stumbling block and done that by beating Al Ahly. You understand? And that is commendable. I mean, you're beating the club of the century and the best team in Africa. So we can't just look at it through one lens and say, it's one thing. However, there is a
You are
demand.
sober, my brother. Today you are sober with the kuts. You are sober.
However, there is a demand that they can be seen to be wasting money. In figure, at some point you have to achieve due to the Kanaking players that the management has invested in the team. I mean, going for players like Abo Ribeiro, going for players like Abo Kanakimang, those guys, Allende. If you look at those players are not even in the prime of their careers. So you've actually bought quality stuff at the right time. You understand? Someone like 24, 23, I don't think that's head off from the countries that they come from. And if you check the profile, Allende, former Chilean captain, whether it's junior level or what, that is not kind of game, a gimmick or anything. You understand? So with such resources, you have to achieve. I think it's a double-edged sword because it places so much responsibility on Coach Rulane. But if you look at him as an individual, he can always say, guys, why are you telling me about things of yesteryear? Personally, as an individual, I've achieved so much. Yes, the team was already achieving that, but we've got references of Abu Chelsea, where kind of came on that guy. Abu Graham Potter came in and destabilized everything. We've got other references of Abu Pirates where Coach Mitchell was performing, and a certain coach came in and didn't do as well. And now a certain coach is at the Sundowns and he's doing very well. He's continuing with winning. So that on its own cannot be overlooked, because the Sundowns is winning. We can still give him credit. I think he still has Ama life. You know, when you're playing a game, you can die once, he still has a couple of lives. 3 seasons even wouldn't be a stretch.
Man, what do you drink? Did you drink Heineken, Black Label? What do you drink, eh?
No, agent. You're saying that now, agent. You'll find him go corner flag up very red and white. Huh? We're not busy saying what you drink, Theo.
Mr. Mochi, I totally agree with Aputukuto. Actually, I think he stole my words. Just that in a diplomatic ways. But let me just bring it into the normal level. Yeah, Jabo. I just check look Morocco right now, guys. Wydad is number 7 on the log. They've played 6 games. The games they are 8. So actually they are 2 games behind, but they are 7th, and they cannot even get to 4th, even when they win those 2 games. And you have Sundowns here. Al Ali, I think they're number 3rd or 4th, if I remember, but they have a lot of games in hand. But you look at the Sundowns, they've played 8 games, they've won 8 games in the league, they've just been knocked out of the M10 8 final. But they were there. You know, you cannot come to me and say to me, okay, we lose AFL, we use the Champions League there for now. Rulani has to be under a spectrum of it. No, guys, look at the stats. The stats don't lie. You have a young coach. You have a coach that has played the final M10-8. You go to Al Ali. He didn't have strikers, but he beaten Al Ali as if he was just walking on the mountain. A team that is the best team in Africa. Let's not lie. Al Ali is number 1 in Africa. Sundowns beaten them twice. You understand? Even that game, 4-0 in the Champions League, it's like they have become their daily bread because of having a coach like Rulani. Then you cannot come to me and say to me, because he's struggling in certain finals, then you're going to say, you know what, maybe you should just try and, take him aside. I don't believe that. And I agree with Aputuhu. So I will give him even 5 seasons. Why 5 seasons? Because in those 5 seasons, what I will want to see is, can he still have the same dominance that he's having now? You cannot tell me, Guti, Sundowns guys is beating every team in PSL just like that, and then you go to FL, they give you the same results. Champions League, they give you the same results. They just struggle on final. Then that alone, you're gonna say you're gonna start questioning the coach. I don't believe that. I think that's a small-minded kind of a facility. Whereas you look at the Chiefs, they haven't achieved anything. They had every right to be busy changing coaches. But for Sundowns, even the style of play, guys, Urulani is bringing something different from what Pizzo had. He's adding onto it. He's adding the desire to win every game as if it's their first game, as if they are playing every game as if it's a final. If you push that aside and say to me, no, you want a cup so that you can say he's the best coach, then I beg to differ with you. Because what if you give him 2-3 seasons, he wins the Champions League, he wins the AFL, and then he starts losing in the league? What are you going to do? You're going to still fire him? No, look at the performance of the team. And the coaches, the players, red cards, but he's still able to win a game, win the red card. You can't take that away from him, guys.
I just wanted to say, because it was something Agent mentioned earlier about Arsene Wenger. I think what you were afraid of is that Arsene Wenger was a serial winner when he arrived. Leagues, as the leagues, we went unbeaten, the Invincibles, we did that stuff. Then there was a 9-year stretch where it seemed as though perspectives changed. And I think all of this is all about perspective. I look at Sundowns and I go, Sundowns is above the league. I look at Man City and I go, Man City is above the league. I look at PSG and you say they're above the league. Their goals should be loftier, right? So, for example, when Agent was like top 4, top 4 is great if you're Everton, right? But if you're chasing Real Madrid, honestly, those unfortunately are the goals that you have to look at. We speak about Wydad Casablanca. The reason why Wydad and Al Ali have been at the top of the game for so long, and Wydad, are recently on top. Guys, a coach got fired when they lost to Chiefs. Wydad, because they were like, my guy, I don't know what you're talking about here, but we win finals. Al Ali has had a history of going, guys, you know your role. When Pizzo signed for Al Ali, he knew, the Champions League has to be in the bag. Somewhere, somehow, to win Anjani. So I think it goes to what Sundowns, I guess, wants to be in terms of that? Because again, like somebody said here, you want Sundowns to be mentioned in the conversation. 6 Champions League, 7 Champions Leagues, team of the century. But that's also very intentional. And it's not to say that Urulani has to be moved, but it's up to the club.
Yeah, Oti. For me, personally, Urulani, it's just only his second season right now. And then for us to say if he lose AFL and Champions League, he has failed, will be very unfair fair to the guy. Like everyone said, Urulani is in the process of building his own team right now. In these 2 seasons that he has been to Sundowns, you can see because he's trying to put his footprint, and then you can see the direction that Urulani is doing, and then in doing that as well, he's also winning games. He was just unfortunate again on that MTN final, but then he was there. And then how long Sundowns, that MTN final, it's a struggle for us to go to the final alone. So Urulani in his first season, he went to the final. Now he is in the final for the Super. Is almost equivalent to Champions League because it's big top. It's top 8 teams playing there. He's in the final. Sundowns was struggling to go past the quarterfinal for the past five season in the Champions League. Last season, on his first season, he went to the semi-final. Of which that for me that was an achievement, and how he went out of that semi-final as well. You can see he didn't even lose the game, but then he lost the match due to technicalities that the away goal rule. But then it shows he has done amazing. I'll also give him a good 5 years, or he must run off his contract. If he lose this AFL and lose the Champions League, for me, yes, in our eyes, we want those trophies, we want everything. But then the vision of the team, where he's taking the team, we give him the chance, we support him. Would we want the trophies? Yes, we do.
Also to add on that, I want to ask, sorry, Maot, like you remember to Pep Man City. Had Pep not won the Champions League, do you think they would have fired him by now?
Yes.
Nah, there's
no. Sorry, no. Pep is different.
No way.
Do you know why? Do you know why, Theo? Do you know why I don't think he wouldn't be fired? I think Pep's situation is different to everybody else. Where do you go from Pep? You get what I mean?
Okay. Can I just answer that question in a nice way, Lega Pep? Pep was at Bayern. He came in at Bayern. His predecessor had won a treble, the league, Champions League, and some domestic cup. The only thing that he changed to Bayern was their style of play, where they were now a position-based team. So he failed to win what Bayern brought him to win, which is the Champions League, to continue the streaks, the Champions League. He failed. He left. And then there's a guy who was the German coach, Hansi Flick. He came in after Pep. He won a treble, man. So you see, Bayern was very clear. Which, don't give me what I'm already used to. That's exactly the point that I'm coming at with the Sundowns. Which, if they are more ambitious in terms of the Continental Cups, they need to also be weighing in on whether are we achieving our continental goals. I'm not saying that Urulani is a bad coach, is not coaching Sundowns well, but honestly, what counts is status as Sundowns in Africa. Is it now, Sundowns rankings is sitting at number 1, but what justifies that position?
Is it Arsenal in top 4?
Exactly, So
the thing is, guys, why fix it when it's not broken? Like that's my worry. It's not yet broken. Why are we fixing it? And I think to the question again that we're asking, who do we go to next? Who do we bring in? Like, look at the local coaches around. Who do we bring?
The Wydad coach.
Who?
The Wydad coach. The Wydad coach.
The winning coach, whoever wins.
Whoever wins.
The thing,
that's why it's tough with Pep, because
the thing is, right? You are bringing in a Wydad coach. He needs to learn, like, South African players. You know them. Yeah. He needs to come and learn South African players and know how to get the game going from them, and I think people are overhyped by what Wydad achieves in the curve. But remember the Wydad coach, the previous one, before this one just started this season. The previous one, Dr. Sundowns, lost, and now he got fired. He fired, So it's not like a case of saying bringing in the coach. Are we sure that he's going to acclimatize well to the local conditions? Is he not? He's not going to rock the boat too much? So like I'm saying, the waters are still. Why stir them up? That now is not the time to stir that up.
But can I ask you, agent? Can I ask you, agent? Will Sundowns ever be? And this is besides Urulan, like, will Sundowns ever be a team that is as cutthroat as the people that they're competing against? And I say this because I'll take my team in England, for example, Arsenal. Arsenal, we're not cutthroat. We've never been cutthroat. Né? So there's a certain level of relaxation that a coach has, where it's like, I'm not going to. Whereas up there, you see these questions you're asking about, will he acclimatize? When Al Ali signed Pizzo, they were like, Pizzo, you know the job. Guti we acclimatize. Guti enzani. We don't care. Our standard as a club is the star, right? So will Sundowns ever get to that point?
I think we are on the road to Damascus. We're on that road. The teams, we have instilled the fear in African team, North African teams. Like they're shaking every time Sundowns' name is mentioned. They're shaking. I don't think we're at our best to beat Al Ali. Our fear, just our fear effect. Better was the one which managed to beat Al Ali. And I think what Rulani did is what the fear factor that we have in the PSL. Sometimes we beat teams not that we are good, but because of the fear factor they have in us. And I think Rulani is taking that to the to Africa. So I think Sundowns is getting to that point where we'll win the star, not because we are the best team around, but because Sundowns is in town and everyone is shaking.
But then will you be able to do the thing of Wydad? For example, we'll use Wydad as an example. We're saying Rulani reached the final. It's great. I don't want to take anything away from it. What I'm comparing is Wydad had a coach that reached the final last year of the Champions League. Didn't win. They were like, my guy, unlucky. You know where the bar is. He left. New coaches come in. New coaches come in. He's in the final of the AFL. I don't know what they're going to do in the Champions League. But Wydad has also put themselves in a situation where we're finding coaches that can do it for us and do it without all of the knowing and all of that stuff. Is Sundowns ever going to be? Because I feel like where Sundowns might be missing something, and again, it's very early, but where Sundowns might be missing something is, you see the teams up there, it is the standard. Like,
I wanted to say this, that, Awutukuso mentioned something. Where is he? Oh, he's here. He mentioned something very interesting that, now that I think about it, he was spot on. Like I said, today he's very sober. He must be sober, man. But he mentioned Chelsea. It was the Chelsea model. It worked, but where has it worked elsewhere? In EPL. After we would bring in Mourinho, wins, bring in that person, wins, fire, bring in wins. It's something which can work for a team, like it's working for the North Africans. It's not a guarantee that it will work for us as Sundowns. Look at Manchester United. Has been firing, hiring. Nothing is working out.
But that one's different, though.
No. I'm saying in terms of chopping and changing. Look at City. City stuck to that man. And look at what that man has brought them.
They chopped Pellegrini, Mancini before him because they wanted more.
They wanted more, but it was like those guys had reached their ceiling. It was like, no, you guys
it took them to Pep. They won leagues. Mancini won the league. Pellegrini, I think Pellegrini won the first one for them. Well,
the Aguero moment. My point was, it with them also. It's not the a thing of, you see, I'm mentioning 3 managers. It's not Chelsea where you can mention 5 managers in that space also. So all I'm saying is, sometimes the model works for you. Like it can work for you, can work perfectly for you, you know. So sometimes it doesn't. So it's not a guarantee. So why are we taking a risk with this model? You know, like
To
I feel
win.
like teams. The thing is, when there is high risk, high reward. You know, the higher risk you take, sometimes the higher you win, or the higher the risk, the low you win. The team which is in desperate need of taking a risk is not Sundowns. You know,
That's
it's
true.
teams like Pirates and Chiefs. Those are the teams which need to take risk, you know? Which like, guys, we need to gamble here. So why gamble when you have $1 million in the bank? Why gamble? You know? So yeah, that's my point.
Okay. But guys, I'm gonna have to move on to the next topic. We've spoken about Sundowns now. I want to also touch the derby and give it some time as well in this time that we have. Let me just. It's an interesting conversation. It's an interesting conversation to have. And I think maybe it's because we're having it from different vantage points and different traumas, agent? It's different traumas. So I know what it's like to have a team that everybody says is doing well, but that team is not going nowhere macro. You get what I mean? So us and Wenger went 9 years without a trophy, but we were top 4. And we had convinced ourselves that we were happy in that. Meanwhile, teams are getting built and rebuilt in 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, quick. Winning, dying, coming back up. We watched Double Chelsea, Nabo Manchester United, Nabo City play the game while we were happy with, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway. Let's get into the derby. So at the derby, obviously it's tomorrow. Chiefs versus Pirates, 2 teams that are in very weird situations. Pirates have the trophy, but they'd missed out on the Champions League. And the past few games weren't necessarily the most convincing. So this would be a very nice, the bragging rights to add on top of the MTN 8 after everything has happened now.
Yeah,
Kaizer Chiefs, we can't even speak about Kaizer Chiefs much because we're going into our 9th season without a trophy. So these bragging rights are basically all we have. But also, Kevin Johnson is a new coach, and beating Pirates, whether we like it or not, is a big of a deal. It can be as big of a deal as to get you the job at Kaizer Chiefs full time, as to get fans on your side, especially very early. I don't think Abontseki got a chance to play a derby. Who knows what would have happened to Mulifinseki if he had gotten to go to a derby and miraculously beat Pirates 5-0. Who knows what fan sentiment would look like, for example. So it's 2 teams that, we're not all firing at the top of our at the best we can. Pirates is still ahead of Chiefs in this regard. But it's a derby, and the derby is a very important game. What do we think about this derby, guys?
Well, after Pirates always the Chiefs.
Malume Kutso. Hey.
We don't touch on the derby. We hold the derby. Anyway, you know what I've observed about MTN 8 or top 8 cups? They don't serve as a cushion for our coach. Instead, they create expectation. So many coaches have been fired after winning the MTN 8. The cup that creates a cushion is the League Cup, previously known as the Kanaking Telkom Knockout and now Cutting Back Label. That's the cup.
Net Bank.
Yeah, AI drink. Yonali, especially that Kanaking Netbank share it creates extreme joy because if you win the Netbank Cup, you are for the entire December. But Telkom can get you to the end of the season. MTN 8 is a step. You win the MTN 8, we expect you to do well in the league. We expect you to do well in everything because you've shown us we're in our baba this season. You understand? So that's why Pirates, in as much as we performing the way other PSL teams perform, the coaches with a great background, 3 cups is suddenly under this ball of
looming pressure. It might not be pressure, but there's a looming pressure. Which is,
Mm.
should you not win certain games like the derby, or should you go on two more games losing streak? Then you'll be under pressure. It's because of the MTN8. Going into the game, I like it when Chiefs have their tails up. I like it because then it gives you a proper dive in terms of ama supporter. Because we know Chiefs supporters are very emotional. So when they win one game, they want Man City. Therefore, they'll come and watch Orlando Pirates again. You understand? Unlike when they don't win the game before the derby, then they can win because manje that's Yavanyata, crowd is getting volatile because they promising them breaks. So if you lose, you understand. I mean, I want the Chiefs that's happy, the Chiefs that saying, did you see me doing Tanzania? Did you see me? Oh, I'm going to kill you. That's the Chiefs that I want. The Chiefs that goes out kind of thing after a game and says, give us Pirates. That's the Chiefs that we beat, yabo. The Chiefs that is modest, man. I come now. So with Chiefs having won against Cape Town Spurs, and convincingly so, if I may, bar for its defensive performance, I'm happy to be having the Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs. I'm not when they are hot. You understand? Not I'm a So I'm happy.
Hey, I wanna mapagania, guys.
It's the confidence. It's the confidence for me from this Bacania, You can tell. You can tell already he's going to sail through this game come Saturday.
How do you feel, Tablu? How do you feel with this?
Well, for me, I don't wanna lie. I don't have my hopes and expectation up there, judging from the performance that we have been giving as Chiefs. I don't wanna lie. For me, we're playing an underrated. How can I put it? And it's under average, proper average football that I would expect from such a level, professional level. But both teams are not so convincing going to the game, even Paris themselves. And for me, I think they have the more pressure because, the coach has been very underperforming of recent, judging from the fact that he won an MTN8. So I'm a supporter, like my brother has said previously. So if you win the MTN8, the supporters are expecting you, to carry on with the momentum, winning and all of that. So judging from Ama games work and the run, he hasn't been performing very well as the coach and the club overall. So unlike Chiefs, we're used to what Chiefs has been doing from the season ongoing. So there isn't much expectation. No, when you've accepted things as they are, you don't really put your emotions out there for a burnt. I'm one of those people, so I'm not putting my emotions there for Ilanga to be burnt out. But truly speaking, this is a Soweto derby, so anything can happen. So I always say this thing: whether both teams have been performing going into the derby or underperforming, come the day you're gonna see a different ball game. So that's where I'm leaving it. Come Saturday, we'll see a different ball game from the two teams. Chiefs may surprise many and dominate from the word go until they win the game. I don't know as for Pirates, but yeah, we'll see.
Problem with that is
But
that anything.
I don't see ourselves losing this game. Trust me. As much as we are underperforming, but I don't see ourselves losing. Either we win or it's a stalemate.
That's what I'm saying. Well, when we say Katabi, whenever we say anything can happen in Katabi, it usually means it's a draw.
Yeah.
Trophy.
Yeah.
So to me, OT, interesting game. So interesting games over the weekend. Tomorrow is the biggest game in South Africa. Then on Sunday, the biggest game in Africa.
Hey, Mara, I know you wanted to go to Marumshabi. You wanted to go there.
No, but then that's the truth, But the thing, what I'm happy about with this the Soweto derby tomorrow is that both the coaches are not under a lot of pressure. The midweek win for them it's easy them for tomorrow's game. Just imagine if one of them they were depending on that game to win and they lose. What's gonna happen tomorrow with that capacity? But I'm happy the coaches maybe say they are safe for now. But also with the derby thing, you know, Chiefs has the numbers. The 5 I think previous game they've been winning all those games. But then with coming to derby, you know, derby it's not won by coaches. You can be a terrible coaches coming to the derby. But then comes the derby day, the players win you that game. You know, those players they can be terrible, but then come to the derby day, you will see different players. You might even see Lodge performing coming tomorrow. You see a different Lodge that you've been seeing on the previous games. I don't know, David has something on these players. I read somewhere. Brent Badoy is saying Tavi is becoming a Devon July these days. People they just go there to go and drink and and have fun. So I don't know, we'll see. But to be honest, the Tavi doesn't have a lot of goals. 1 or 2 goals at most. So we know what to expect. So teams are going there not to lose. That's the other thing. They're going there not to lose the game. Not to go there to win the game. So it's no longer that exciting. You can even tell by now the derby by Monday the ticket was supposed to be sold out. But then yesterday they were only selling like 80 tickets, which is like 90% of the tickets that were sold. But then you can see that the derby is losing. Is being beat by beat. But yeah, but then you're now when it comes to the game, it's at a different ball game. The players they just come out of their comfort zone. They want to shine and everything. But then the pity is that there's no goals there. So if it's not a 0-0, it's gonna be a 1-odd goal or a 2-0 at most. So, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, it's a mid game battle. At least they move away from the relegation battle, so they mid-table battle.
Ay, man. Hey, Mara. Hey, that's a Sundowns. Super, Nina, Sundowns. Ni super. Ay. Theo, has the culture changed? Because, as Umhlave said there, we used to come to it derby, Spunukshayana. But now it's more about, I don't want to lose. Has this culture, man, it gets a
First of all, let me say I'm a Kosi for life. Abafana bokuthula they love us and kids. Oh, the biggest team in South Africa, my daughter. Hey, it's gonna play the biggest game in the African continent.
You're pushing things. You can hear yourself. I'm pushing things.
It's not convincing. It's not TV.
I want to push up. I'm trying to hope, please.
No, khona ngibafuna bezwe ukuthi makuthiwa usupportwa team esupportwayo kwenzakalani. But yeah, Mr. back to what you were saying, you know, it has changed, guys. It has changed, but I don't blame it. In a sense that, you know, there's been a third child that has became a firstborn some type of way. A child that just came out of nowhere, you know, made the league interesting. So now he's adopted, now he's taking over the league. But yeah, I think because of those kind of reasons, you know, Iltabi is slowly and surely, you know, becoming not as it was before, because lo mntwana unenkani lo yabo umntwana umadopte bese ufuna ukwenza yonke into nje endlini ungazi ukuthi indaba. But yeah, I think the culture of the of the derby has been also became elusive because of his Sundowns, of which I don't like to admit, but yeah, I think they've made the derby to become one of the games that I think is not as challenging as it was. And whereas you look at the game, it Chiefs, the Sundowns, it becomes more competitive. Pirates and Sundowns, yabo. So the stepchild just came and just says but yeah, other than that, I think it's gonna be a very incredible game, an interesting game, because I used to always doubt when it derby, when in a derby where both teams they come, their performance is good or they are winning, they are about 3-4 games in a row. So the way they are inconsistent now, both of them, it's very interesting in a sense that Chiefs he has just got in a new coach who's trying to stabilize them and bring him a new style of play. The Pirates have a coach that just won the cup and then for no reason. But yeah, I think with that being said, knowing which this is going to be the biggest game in African football, people even overseas are going to watch this game. Also, there are people who are going to come to watch this game, not Lotto Sunday, but that on its own, I think is going to make an impact, in our league or in the game that we're going to expect tomorrow. I think Pirates is going to put in a fair fight. But as Udola Shilo, we have 4 games in a row. We have the belt. So when they have to come and get the belt from us, not the other way around. We are not the underdogs. They are the underdogs. And also the way that Hey, abashaliseki. But yeah, the way that the Italy has been in the past few games, I think for me it's gonna be very interesting. I beg to differ with Umhlaba. It's not gonna be a 1 goal or 0 deficit. I think there's gonna be goals tomorrow. Reason being, both teams are hungry, man, guys. Both teams they want to prove themselves, especially Pirates, because they've been dominating Emakapini, but when it comes to the league, they are failing dismally. And in Derby, Gegubo is like a cup final, and they've also been failing there. So I think Jose will want to put his stamp and say, guys, I know we have not instilled hope in our fans, so let's go to the derby and prove ourselves. But the sad truth is the Chiefs is starting to pick pace because they are playing good. I think they are playing good. I don't want to overhype our coach like other supporters do. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very good game. I think it's going to be a game of 2 halves. But I promise you, Sizosha Paris 2-1. That's my final thought.
You're not falling for Kevin Guardiola, Kevin John
Imagine Arsene Wenger coming all the way from England. It's like, let me go and see this side show. And he's like, the hype team is gonna see the battle of Ancelotti and Jose Mourinho. Huh?
Now I love how you guys try to play it down. Umhlaba just said, it's 90% of FNP. 80,000 guys. I see you, Sundowns agent. I see you guys. Aston Villa's gonna get there and see a full stadium, and it's gonna be like, wow, this is incredible. He's in the FNP stadium. Then Sunday, Loftus.
And then the game starts, and it's like, is there Cartoon Network available? So for me, the derby is a case of, do you want to watch the Soto derby or you want to watch a paint dry? I think a paint dry would be more interesting, man. Don't you think?
As Mr. OT, can my observation of what is killing the spirits of Soweto Town. Sound far-fetched. Not even Sundowns. Juventus exists, but the Milan derby is still the Milan derby. It's the sitting arrangement. What the FIFA World Cup brought with that FNP stadium, it really killed a lot. And as much as we are happy, but if you watch the vibe when we play against the Pirates, when it's clear that the entire stadium is black and white and there's like a little corner there catering for 57 supporters and with the yellow color, you can see okay, there's 2 sides here. You understand? With the Soweto derby, you can't even pressure the players as much or pressure the opponents as much because when you
to be hostile towards the opponent. Right next to you, it's the opponent laughing, making jokes with the Alajiwa or saying what to the player away to, So it's just a lot sitting in opponent. Unlike mentally known, you probably feel the same pain and you feel the same joy. So when you celebrate, you don't even think about the guy who's next to you crying. You just celebrate fully, So that it really does take away from the atmosphere. It can. We have to find a way to change it. Yes, reference to during the days where we were sitting in opposite sides or separately, kind of maybe in segregation. There were islands that would loom out of that, and understand that. Then we want that. We don't want to see people killing each other and all. But honestly, this thing of mixed sitting takes away a lot. And with the FNB, I think Chiefs need to find a home ground that they can call their home, because playing at FNB, Chiefs is always away. That's the only time that they are away when they play at FNB. Whether they play against Pirates or Skukuni, that's the only time they feel like they're playing away. They need a ground, a stadium where they can feel they're at home. This is where we sit. This thing, Pirates and Centerline, we know there'll be supporters there, and that guy behind Ipad, who I don't know why don't they move to Centerline as well and join them. But there's a section in Blanco there's a section in Blanco Centerline. I mean, in Blanco section near Centerline. That creates culture. But with Chiefs, you don't know who sits where. You're scattered. Anna culture, man. Anna culture, and it's taking away from the FN, from the Soweto Derby, because Anna sitting arrangement. You just come there. It's like you are here to watch a cricket match. That takes away a lot. If you go to the stadium might look empty, but behind the bench, it's packed. So I've heard it's packed behind the bench, and it creates the thing which after games you're full up. Chiefs don't even know who to thank after the game, because everyone is sitting all over, seeking shade elsewhere. So that on its own is taking away. Tabaya Sundowns, Sundowns is on the side, guys. There's Man City there, but to date, with a horrible performing Man United and a somewhat dipping Liverpool, that's still the biggest game in England, and it remains unchallenged. And you can see sometimes Pep is sad that he coaches Man City. He wishes, I can tell you, even if he doesn't admit, he wishes he coached Liverpool or Man United, because of Amasa. Support is horrible. He's even with them, with guys. I'm doing the best here. I need you to do your part. You understand? There always be the thing with Pirates and Chiefs, guys. My supporter corner, maning too much, guys. Maning too much.
I think but anyways, imagine watching Mart play the 90 minutes. But anyways,
Mart scores goals in the derby. Funny enough, that's the funny part. Funny enough,
I think my problem with the derby is it became a commercial day as opposed to a football day. It has been commercialized to an extent that it has taken the quality out of it. What can we say that it is football related leading up to the derby and on the day of the derby, besides the commercials? Like someone is saying, it in July. Like we used to have legends. I don't know their names. I knew we used to have Alex Rokwane doing our thing. I knew Chiefs had that guy. Could be. Like where are those guys, man? Before the game, at halftime, getting the thing going. Like what happened to, if this is the biggest game, what are we doing to make it interesting, besides the commercializing of it? Are we bringing in, like maybe kick for 10,000 for super fans, kick for something, like things which are going to engage the fans, like what are we doing to make the game interesting? Like imagine going there for an NL, but if you're going there for an NL, at least there was something interesting. You can say, I remember that day, man, I want something, something.
I think it's to do with the PSL as a whole, because for me, if TikTok was around 20 years ago, and I was doing this show 20 years ago, it would be ungovernable right now. You know what I mean? Like, we'd be going at each other, we'd be doing all these things. It just feels as though, man, PSL as a whole, it feels as though football is now, it's like this friendly, nice thing where everybody, you know, we're friends, we speak to each other. But back in the day, agent, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And even down to just league-wise, for example, Sundowns, as good as Sundowns is right now, this dominance wouldn't be as easy for you guys because Pirates and Chiefs would be fighting like tooth and nail. Now, even our own game.
But you know, my concern is, you know, guys, Soto Derby will always be the biggest game. Even 10 years from now, even if the Soto teams go whatever, it's always going to be the biggest game in the land. It's a ceremonial match. But my worry is there's tension when Pirates is playing Sundowns. That week, there's tension in the air. Like, you can see it's bubbling, you know. Even Chiefs and Sundowns, like, you can feel the atmosphere, man. Today is a normal day, man. It doesn't feel like there's a derby tomorrow, you know? That's my worry. Like, what do we do to, like, I think maybe it goes back to Abuti Kuto, you know, when Pirates is coming to Loftus, yes, there's going to be a yellow there. You see, those are the yellow fans, you know. So maybe this thing of mixed masala is not working for you guys also. But
we used to have it outside. We used to have it outside. It's the everything about it, man. It's no longer that thing.
Yeah, like I'm saying, but what needs to be done football-wise to make it entertaining, to bring back the rivalry, and also to feel it in the atmosphere the same way Chiefs, Sundowns, Pirates games are. You know, what are we gonna do? Because there used to be that thing, so that when we bring in Arsene Wenger tomorrow, it's like, okay, I can feel it even in the streets. He's feeling the tension. You know, so yeah.
I don't know. Somebody else. Who's on? Who's still? Guys, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
OT, kutabare Marco kena 90 minutes, yes.
Wakora Marti Mara, wakora kaditabi.
That goal of the season alenga ikora munyatseng tomorrow tlabona.
Abatsibura bona go tabi. A go kore bo chiba bairo botoli.
O tla ba betha Marti ka goal engwe ba so kang ba e bona. Le bona go tsane logic o tla ba le teng for 90 minutes ha ona motho a buang. Logic is the man of the match one to sa boning ha ona motho a re next so re pelwe ka match.
What else telling? No, guys, you know, like for me, it's short riding, man. It's the attitude of it. There's no longer an attitude. That's why I was asking that even in the PSL, Hahusana, that thing, man, that I want to go. The way we anka thing out in Usaupula nakwele neribua so it would be like this. Beke kaufela.
Even if how sama kwa te mutobana di taxi driver di kenze di flag ya Pirates ya Chiefs ke di hutanya ho file hore that is coming jale nyano how ka hauna next.
Okay, guys, can you still hear me? Gary, I'm frozen on my side. Are you guys still fine?
You're good.
Oh, no, I'm not hearing the Chiefs people. Chiefs, Pirates people. What's going wrong? Even now.
I think the problem is you started with the big game and went to the small game. See, now it's going down the hill. Man. You started down. I think we can what's common go Chiefs, Sundowns or Sundowns Pirates is that there are cups players there, you know, on the field. Of course, if it's Sundowns, it's cups from Sundowns only, but nonetheless, it's cups. And then from Pirates versus Sundowns, it's a lot of cups on the field. I understand. So we come with the thing which we are all winning. You understand? And we need to be fair
which the game the Pirates and Sundowns. The first one was on the back of a great run from the Pirates, a run creating expectation which we are about to dethrone them. We've beaten teams 5-3, and they coming to Orlando slaughterhouse. So we had that expectation not only towards the Sundowns but around the entire league, which we are the main now. And the next encounter with the Sundowns was the final. So it's been two big occasions apart from just being a game, the Pirates and the Sundowns. Right now, can you tell me what happens if Chiefs wins? What happens if Pirates wins?
There's no stakes.
There's no stakes. The stakes are very low, I understand. Which on its own might provide an entertaining derby because pressure does somewhat make you over the floor. For example, I always make example which if Rashapari penalty and you're taking penalty number 4 and the opponents have missed bomber 2 already, you take it easy. You can a lot of things, but if it's 5-4 and you're stepping up for penalty number 5, you feel vomit in your heart. That's what it is, and you'll probably sky it because of the pressure. But right, there's no pressure on Pirates. There's no pressure on it, so we might see the best derby ever, actually.
But it's just vibes to start with the Cooters vibes. We have been that vibe, and see. Yeah.
Hopefully, you regret saying this at the end of the season. Yeah.
But also Pirates is playing to go to top 8 Abutuku, so you're not being honest now.
Oh,
They
they are
want to go-
fighting for relegation.
Okay, no,
Guys, keep your relegation, man.
There's something at stake, guys. Pirates looking at relegation. So Aputukuto, you're not being fair. You guys are fighting at least in the first half of the log. But when it comes to Igwini League, guys, to be honest, I agree with you, Aputukuto. It's actually this became like dominant to a point whereby we know Guti. When we are playing, even in cup games, if you have noticed, Amarita Biakona is not as interesting as it would be if it is a league game that is at stake, whereby maybe Chiefs, if they win, they get to be on top, or Pirates. So with that element being taken away, it kind of delusionally, it makes sense just to go to the game to say we are supporting the Chiefs, but there's nothing that is like a cement. We are building, for example, the coach is new. There's so many elements that whether we lose the game, we will not be as angry as we would have a backbone and say, but the coach is only just 2 games in. And the Pirates, no, I'm a player. So there's nothing that is really like a tangible that is take except to the Pirates relegation.
But then, isn't it? But then when you look at it, okay, let me put it like this. I hear you guys, but shouldn't the storyline be Chiefs is 9 years without a trophy? Right, well, going to 9 years without a trophy. Pirates is the closest thing we have to a trophy. We've got a new coach. He needs to set something. He needs to come in and do something. And like I said earlier, derby is unfortunately the game. It is the game where you go, hi, Kevin Johnson, if you're going to win one game, then on the Pirates side, this is a Pirates team that got knocked out of the Champions League, that has been questioned for the past few weeks. They haven't been playing up to par. Umalume Kutso mentioned the MTN 8. Shouldn't they be coming in and going, yeah, we need a neck to step on? And the biggest neck in our regards is Chiefs.
I think winning the derby for any of the 2 teams, get boost, it's it's gonna energize the fan base for 1 or 2 days, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things it matters that much to whether Jose loses it or Johnson loses it, But I think for me, the biggest winner, if they win, it would be Jose, I think it's just gonna take the pressure a bit off him. I think he's the one who needs to win more than Johnson, because I think Johnson is the Kalma Matlant of Chiefs, I'm just there, I'm just here. I'm just there, guys.
Even he said it.
But to say something,
Oh yeah, no. Agent is right. Make it the Halima Mutlanto of the Chiefs. He even said, "I mean, Angisfunde Stulo. I would love to build a team. I saw something at Al Ahly." However, uh, what Pirates will do, gents, I just want to be honest with everyone. It might be Woods Johnson is fired by Monday.
No.
Looking at the quality
Nah,
of players.
nah.
No,
Aye.
relax.
Aye.
There's no pressure.
No,
Aye. Which was
no,
Yeah,
no.
maybe to say, but nah, not
which was
Johnson.
Yes, it's because you think we're gonna win one nil. We're going
Not
to
baby
thrash.
oil, man. Not baby oil. Johnson and Johnson. I know, man.
Aye,
We're
there's no
going
way.
to thrash Kaizer Chiefs. Extremely.
Mm.
Extremely. We're going to thrash. We're going to beat in their faces. So expect Ratomo to shine. Expect Lodge to shine. And
You?
expect Kemet Erasmus to do what he does against Kaizer Chiefs. And that's
I don't see a situation where against a certain team that I won't mention, the coach resign live on TV after that game. I don't think that situation will happen again.
But what I want to add to the coach, the thing is that's going to be very interesting in this game. It's not just about if Chiefs wins. Guys, let me make an example. OT said they should have given Ubando, the previous coach at Chiefs, Derby. Even if he came, Mr. Oti, even if that guy came in and won against Pirates, put 7 defenders, won 5-0, still the Chiefs were gonna want his head. Not because of I'm fans the Chiefs, it's like our eyes have been open to see Uguti. We were not just satisfied about winning. We wanted also to dominate the game. Like it's not about playing good, dominate, Chiefs is known for dominance. Chiefs has been known with my gala, especially when they play in Durban. It's like we are at home, you understand. We will play there in Golden Arrows. We humiliated them there. And that's what we wanted. It's not just about winning, but also dominate the game, show that you are present in the game. So that's why I'm saying, I differ with Aputu Kuto. No matter two Johnson will lose 5 games in a row, I promise you he's not going to leave Chiefs. Reason being, we are seeing if a print yake. We are seeing what he's trying to do.
Let's apologize to Aputu Kuto. I think he got it right. I just heard somewhere that Pito is fired, so maybe Kuta into something.
Guys, Pito will never come to Chiefs, guys.
No, guys, here's my thing. Here's my thing. That's why I was asking you guys. That's why I was asking you guys about Kevin Johnson. Is Kevin Johnson, if he loses 5 games, but I remember, this interim is going to be interim for 8 months. You need to beat Pirates. You need to do those things because those are the things that are going to add up. Whether fingerprint, whether now Zwane, Sakala bantu, but Zwane is the best thing, is youngsters, what. But the results said one thing. So that's why maybe if Funseki got this game, something would have happened, right? I'm just sad, Gucci. It doesn't feel as though it doesn't seem as though there's many storylines we can choose from.
And that's true, though. Like, to be honest, usually we look at a certain player. Ban is playing nicely. But for me, I would say, the thing is, I'm not even sure Guti Jose will start to Mufukeng. I'm not even sure Guti Johnson will start to Shabalala. So if those boys can come in, I think the derby will have a different element because those boys even go multi-choice disc. I was once their derby go multi-choice disc. Guys, it was super nice. The way those boys were running around like tangling the ball. It was very interesting. So I think if they can bring that element even to this derby, they can revive that culture, that energy that was there before. But only if the two coaches can trust those young boys, the derby could be interesting again. Because to be honest, there's only bragging rights. There's nothing else to see.
Would you trust the young boys, Theo? Would you trust the young boys? If you're a coach of Chiefs or Pirates?
I will tell you why. I will tell you why. I will trust I will tell you why. You remember that time Ashaya post whatever people this boy, guys, look at him now. That thing should have affected him. other players will be affected by that. Good next game, I was booed or I was told, what I'm doing is not right. So that thing should have affected him. But look at how he's playing. He's playing with confidence. He's moving the ball. So for me, as Johnson, looking at him as a young boy and also who is instilling Hypakbotoli, Ranga guys was banging because of him. Ranga was running because of that young boy around him. So I will take that as an advantage and I'll throw him in. And I know he will stand against the Pirates. Pirates guys, I saw to see. That's the thing.
And also, Jose has nothing to lose. So, I mean, Kevin Johnson also has nothing to lose. So, why not play those boys? But then another interesting element
is something to lose.
Ha ba fe bana chance bana ba ntsha di skills bolo e be mnati because these kids ba bapala bolo ya South Africa mon ha ba bapale e tswa they ba bapala talent ya South Africa ku trepa bolo ba etseng ba retse happy
Mothers.
No ha se South African football that one whoa
Mothers is spot on there. Mothers is on the right track.
No, but agent, would you coming up against Pirates for everything that they have, they've got an MTN 8, they've got, we could say, players that can be dangerous. Nah? Do you think that Kevin Johnson should play this game the way he played the game versus Cape Town Spurs? And do you think that the situation, how much did the situation play into it? Good, there was no fans. There was you're playing versus Cape Town Spurs, who worst team in the league. Would you take that starting lineup to play Pirates in the biggest game, the most worst game, the highly pressured game? You're just new, you've just arrived. What would you do, agent?
The most watched game in Mzansi, in the continent. We're talking about our eyes, but it's fine.
Okay.
No, but I think whoever brought this issue up, I don't know if it's Theo or who, but one of the two. It's an interesting thing, and I think about it. I think the build-up should have been Ngobo versus Mufokeng, the reimagines also to Derby, the rebuilding, something, like the new. Like you see, like that kind of vibe that we are re-energizing the Derby, we are rebuilding it. I think that was supposed to be a storyline. Like youngsters versus youngsters. But going to your question, the question is, do you achieve players on a slump? You look at, let me say, for example, I know he's shit, but you look at Marcus Rashford. He's shit. But
wow, Ruhana, this man.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
He's shy. He's shy. He's shy. So he's that thing. One. But you look at him and you say, but going to a Manchester derby, do you drop him even though he's not playing well? You would pick him and say, based on, I know he can pick it up in the big game, and you hope. But you look at choose players and say, but who can we bring in and say he's gonna bring something special? He's gonna come out of his slumber and hold the game by the scruff of the neck. You look at it like, I don't see anyone here. So it's a matter of saying, I tried something, it worked. Let's see if it works. At the end of the day, it's another 3 points. And again, it's a question of heads you lose, tails they win. If he doesn't play the starting lineup that he played against Cape Town Spurs, people are gonna say, why change it? You saw that has worked. Why bring in? Why take out Ngobo? You see how well he played. But then again, to your point, you're saying this game needs experience, and then you bring in the experienced players and you lose. It's another issue.
Mina, you see me. I don't mind any way to play. I just want people to appreciate the situation that Kevin Johnson is in, right?
Yeah.
I'm new. I just got here. Fine, they maybe should have been given chances, but they weren't playing. So they had a good game versus Cape Town Spurs with no fans versus those guys. Now I'm going into this very high pressure situation. Now, my heart will always say, play. Like my heart will always say, make it good, make it attacking. But I also understand somebody would go into the derby and say, "Hi, Eslin, I'm gonna play 7 defensive guys. I'm gonna try weather the storm, take a point, live to fight another day."
Yeah, no,
PSL way.
I think the problem is no one would blame Johnson for going Mazibuko style. You know, I don't think anyone in his right mind would mind him going that way, to be honest. But I think for me, if I was Kevin, like John Cena, yeah, if I was John Cena, I would just play the young boys. You know, like I say, the pressure for this game is you are being watched by 90,000 people on the stadium. But otherwise, there's no pressure, man. Eh? There's nothing.
Ask Mulifinzeki.
No, the thing is that I'm saying.
Pirates goes 4-0. Oh. Wana lama chips.
I don't think Paris has it in them to score more than 2 goals tomorrow. I don't think it's in them. You know, same as Chiefs. I don't think they have it in them. They can score more than 2. Like the maximum number of goals that you're gonna see is probably 3 if it's that entertaining. You know, but I have to go somewhere and say, but tomorrow my prediction is Dama and Dama playing. Dama will win. Who is Dama?
But guys, both teams, their goalkeepers are attacking there, so it should be an open game because Kune is Kune, and then Pirates there also. The goalkeeper there is taking as well. So maybe we might see a high scoring game tomorrow if both teams take their chances. You would never know. But for me, Kevin Johnson, to me, tomorrow's game, it will determine does he want this job, because this will be his biggest audition on this gig. If he can win convincingly, then obviously then the Chief, he can win the some of the Chiefs fans and maybe the boardroom Chiefs. So to him, this will be determined. Does he really want this job, or is there just to be a caretaker? He knows that someone is coming. Or
I want to ask you, you're in Kevin Johnson's shoes. Do we see Shabalala Ngobo come out tomorrow?
Do I want to be a Kaizer Chiefs coach next season? That's another thing. Do I want
to straight question. Are you going to play Ngobo and Shabalala in the game tomorrow? If you were Kevin Johnson, same situation.
If I wanted to be a Kaizer Chiefs coach next season, I'll play them. I'll play these young boys because now I know I'll win over some Chiefs fans. You know, they'll be on my side. So I'll play them. But then if you just there to protect the team, then you will play Abu Ox and the experienced guys, and then you throw the game, and then we forget tomorrow that was playing. But then if he really wants the job he achieves, play those young boys. Maybe they might perform. Maybe they might beat Paris 3-0. I'm sure if Gavin can beat Paris 3-0, this position is as good as his. If he can just beat Paris tomorrow convincingly, they can give me this kick.
Hey, if you lose convincingly, what happens to the kick?
Never. There's no 3-0, man. Don't even think about those things. But tomorrow's score might be 3-2, 3-1, somewhere there. But we beat
Maronza, whoa, Maronza. Whoa, Maronza. If I give you Kevin Johnson's job right now, and I know you're a Pirates fan, Mara, you're in Kevin Johnson's shoes, does Shabalala and Ngobo make it to play tomorrow?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. 90,000, right? Let me say 30%, right? When it comes to fans, right, on the day. You know, if you do something there, just a small trick. You know how that F&B sounds when people are like, I don't know how to put it, man. The sound Just small skill. It brings up the team together. That's what I've noticed about the derby. It needs somebody with quality. It needs somebody with skill. Sometimes use those skills.
Yes,
like
we
cars.
come to
So all those things. If for example Lodge did whatever he did at Durban, people are do you know how the sound that will come out from there? That's the sound. I'm telling you, Chief. Me, I will play them. I'll play them.
Okay. No, I'm just asking the other way around because there's another coach. Kevin Johnson was in the suite watching another coach hear another sound. That was just coming from 2,000 fans. But it's fine.
Those skills, we need it. What makes the skills? To make that game even that boom. I'm telling you, skills in this game. It's not a ball. But to Pala, one and ten by yes, Pirates ever Pala, Richard Bay. Harama to Bona Mecha Otonali O. So, how to do the game, but Wahonang with Tinya, the Hopazarona, Bariesa Regase. It's better than anything. Yeah, okay, lose a couple rounds. As long as it's only entertainment and so the rest of Sayona, they happy as fans.
So, OT, I hear you're asking about Ungobo no Duzi, as if the stage belongs to them too. If we're talking beautiful football, where can you go besides Tito Maswanga?
No.
Besides
no.
Right. Where can you go?
Tito the line 6 now. Yeah, Tito the line 6.
How many games have they played? How many games have they played, Mr. Aputikut? How many games have they played?
Utito, it's his first derby. I would be don't forget that it's his first derby. It might have a stage fright as well.
But here's the thing, then. But Shabalala, they've played derbies before. So it's like when you're saying Tito, you're saying something else. And another thing, Tito has played more than 5 games or 6 games with Pirates already. Labafana, they've only started 2 games, each of them. So that on its own should show to you, Guti, they have many things to prove. Tito has nothing to prove because he has been failing with Pirates all along. So there's nothing new at Jabela. Then you're bringing a fresh mindset.
You know what teams have medal this season? I can tell you how many teams have a medal this season, and I think it's throughout the world.
A preseason medal.
And Tito plays for the team. I'm asking you winning this season. I think the only thing he won is the game he played during the week. Other than that, his achievement that Tito. For you to say, Tito, we are failure, it's amazing, James. Wake up from that 8 years slumber. But what I can tell you, which is you will be tweeting. I've seen Kaizer Chiefs supporters, even Abantwana Bama big supporters posting with Tito Umnandi. I've never seen Paris supporters. I understand. So I think
whoa. Hey, Molubekuto, don't do that. Washa skill a trend. I've never seen Tito trend.
Oh, Tito trend every day. Do you know cellular?
I've never seen Tito. When you're talking about people cellular, I mean, Shabalala, Shabile 360, and the whole country knew about it. Go TikTok everywhere, all social media.
After every game,
Umisapuloj.
Aputikut. How many assisters Tito has?
All I know is that he assisted us to win.
How many assists?
Okay, wait.
uTito istar esayidini lakhe uyistar lesana so fitalmini encane bafethu
No,
ukuthi nje
you is
you know
star.
sivele
Yeah, okay.
uvele samfaka kakhulu and all those things but yena if he can relax one of the best la eMzansi. Let's
If
be
he can
honest.
relax.
Guys, no, I don't disagree. Utito is stuck with Pirates. But
No,
Umtu,
if he
guys, you cannot say that boy is not. Like,
Umtu.
compared to.
umntu solkhepsa kusasa solkhepsa kuye kusasa.
No.
No, here's a thing, though. But wait.
Bona bana re batla zwane ka hare re batla ngobo ka hare re batla masiani a tloe kwa mantsa be wa 27 re batla bana tomorrow bana ba kgathetseng bona ba bapalang pride ba ke ba dula fatsanyane a ke ba dula fatsanyane
Umama sekakhulumile madoda mina ngisakhulumile ngathi asifuke
bedabi ithi ngathola labantwana abancane because of bafuna ukuthi nabo baprove ukuthi bangayenza lento kuzoba sharp igame izochisa izoba mnandi 90 minutes but akala asifakela laba mkhuhla laba base bayakuphela because bayohola hawa hayi
mama bafuna ukushukela ngizwile ufuna
I really enjoy Super Display yabana because of how shebeletse game itsabona. Everyone on talent ha ntwe re tsebang ho thwe je re skosana night trap mna mona yetsang bana ba coachang ke coach ba letsang hore wa tswang kwa mersa tsebeng hey ska ba trapa bolo we wa pasa so ba ka bapala jang ntwe ke hore e ba tloa ke rona ma African re ba ka le bapala bolo bo Messi ba sa diriko ha sa Argentina mo tlamela o be proud ka ntho o tloang ka yona halon e sentsetsa kwa never.
But Mr. Otsi, to add on that, I wanna ask Linda the three midfielders with. Will you bench Ungob and put in Ox? I wanna ask that.
I would bench Martin put in Ox, to be honest with you.
I agree. Okay, for me, I'm like Street. What Street said in the live yesterday. I'm at the day before yesterday. I would rather bench Castillo and put in Mad. But at least we agree. We'll sacrifice one of the two because a lot of people have been saying play the three of them. We can't play the three of them and bench Ungoboka, especially after the game that he had. Yeah, but he was very influential. So for me, I think knowing Guti Pirates is gonna play Munari there at the back. If we have Ungobo there, guys, it's gonna be a walk in the park. I promise you.
Okay, I guess for time's sake, I'm gonna have to close it. For those who are listening,
last question. Do you know ukuthi Ratom as well as Nkosingphile Ngcobo are the same age? Yet the other one is a permanent feature in the team.
Who's had injuries? Who's had injuries? How many injuries?
Okay. Do you know?
No. Wait. Wait. Ima. Okay. So
Utito is only a year older than Nkosingphile Ngcobo.
Utito Wydad. Did he not go to the Kevin Hunt school? Where did you get him?
He come from Farouk.
Where did you get him? Yeah.
No, he come from Farouk Khan. What do you call it? Academy and all that African stars, something like Stars of Africa. Then he went to
before Ngoba Limala didn't Pizza one thing.
Probably Peter wanted so many people, he even wanted me as well.
No,
okay, guys, so that was a glimpse into our group. This was a WhatsApp call from our WhatsApp group, the Overthinking Football WhatsApp group. Fridays are for members. These people that you hear speaking are contributors to the show. If you want to join this crazy group, Pella, Ninanbona 2 hours and Boni the rest of the days. Please, you can head on over to YouTube, Overthinking Football Show. Join one of the memberships. The cheapest one is 20 Rand a month. And then you'll get access to our WhatsApp group and we'll have members only lives. I'm sure you've seen that you can't comment right now. You can't share, you can't join with your voice. On these shows, it is for those people that contribute. And there'll be more of them as we grow and go along. Thank you so much to you guys. I'm a members of me for joining me. Hey, there at the end.
Sanjay. Yabuthi khutso. Sanjay phela 3-1. 3-1 shala abantu laba sibendlini. Sunday
asifuna ukwazi futhi Sundowns sadliwa kushala abantu 3-1 mhlambe so support ilentuzana le against Sundowns. Sundowns one celebrate Saturday, Sunday.
So guys, the show is on Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We also do watch-alongs. I will be here tomorrow for the derby, and then I'm going to be here for Sundowns' match as well on Sunday in the AFL final. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Is that Kubeke Krupini, guys? I'll see you guys then.